Hi, this is Doug Heikkinen, and I'm here in Chicago at Schwab Impact, and I'm here with Travis Briggs, who's the CEO of Robo Global. Hey, Travis.
How you doing? Thanks for having me.
The robotics industry is exploding this year. What can you attribute that to?
You know, you're exactly right. It has really grown significantly this year, not only in the assets that have been following the space, but also the companies that are directly involved in participating in robotics and automation. I attribute it to a couple of things. One is, I think investors, from an investment perspective, have recognized that robotics is not some sort of niche, narrow, thematic investment, but rather it's a foundational technology that applies to all industries and multiple applications. And two, I think investors recognize that they're gaining exposure specifically with these companies in the index that they just don't have exposure to, that are experiencing very high growth patterns right now.
It's such a fascinating topic in industry. How does Robo Global help investors sift through all this to focus on what is important?
Well, great question. So 4 years ago, we launched the first index to track this space. And I can tell you, when we launched 4 years ago, we had a strong conviction that this was going to be a multi-decade growth opportunity. And now 4 years ahead, we're even more convinced. And now we're certain of it, right? We've seen the growth and we're looking out ahead and realize this is an excellent space for investors to be position their portfolio for the future. The reason I think Robo has gone about it differently and provides such an advantage to investors is, instead of a narrowly focused, concentrated portfolio, what we've done is capture the entire ecosystem of robotics, automation, and AI. And simply what that means is we capture not only the technologies, like the sensing, processes, and computing and machine vision, but then also those end applications that people are more familiar with, like industrial manufacturing, logistics automation, surgical robots, etc.
With an industry that's moving so fast, what are some of the things we can look for in 2018?
Right. So I think
beyond.
Right. So I think as we look into 2018, we're going to see the continuation of a couple of themes that have really picked up steam this year. One is China. China is spending an enormous amount of money in robotics and automation. Essentially, their labor arbitrage, their cheap labor has gone away. Labor costs are up 5x in the last 7 years, and the one-child policy's caught up with them. So they recognize this, and they realize the one thing they have to do to compete is automate. And they're spending a massive amount of money. The reason that's a benefit to our index is because they're buying from the companies that are in the index. Two is machine vision. Machine vision has been on Moore's Law curve, right? The processing power is getting better and better. And if you think about machine vision as an enabling technology, it applies across every silo of robotics, meaning in healthcare, in consumer products, in industrial manufacturing. So you have this kind of amplifying effect. And then lastly, I would say probably the next biggest trend is logistics automation. And I know that probably doesn't sound that interesting, but logistics automation is simply automating fulfillment centers that are being driven by e-commerce. And so right now we see logistics automation on a 25-30% compound annual growth curve for the foreseeable future.
Great. And how do people find you?
You can find us at roboglobal.com.
All right.
Thanks
So much. Take care.
All right.